Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those that are new here, hello, my name is Alicia. So it's been a little while now since I've given you a updated tour of my veggie garden and my big home orchard. If you are new here, me and my husband Jaden live here in New Zealand on 10 acres where we have planted this massive as veggie garden and huge home orchard over there, and it's been growing for about 3 to 4 years now. I definitely think this season is doing a lot better than last year. We're getting a lot more warmer weather, lots of rain as well. I think it was a bit of a slow start, but everything is definitely starting to take off now. So if you're excited to see today's video, then please click that like button and don't forget to subscribe to keep seeing some more updated videos. Also throughout this video, I'm going to be telling you a few of my goals that I have for the garden for 2024. Because when you're out in the garden, there's always new things to learn, always different challenges that you're facing. So yeah, let's get into this video. So first up, I'm just going to give you an overview of what both of the areas look like. So here is our big veggie patch. We've got 10 raised garden beds that we built ourselves, along with this massive one down here that we grow all of our watermelon in. And the area, I would say, is about 10 meters long by 8 meters wide. And so next to our veggie garden, we've got a few structures. We've got our grape and passion fruit structure and also our berry tunnel. And then if you walk underneath here, we've got our fruit orchard, which I will show you in a minute. And also things like our raspberry patch, our passion fruit long trellis. So yeah, that's a quick overview before we get into the video. So I'll take you back to the veggie garden and we will start with that. So the first couple of gardens when you walk in has our tomatoes in. Now a few of the kinds that I've planted this year is red Roma, the classic beefsteak, yellow pear, black Tula, a sweet 100 cherry, and like a little black cherry tomato, which should be interesting. And something that I've liked to use over the past few years is these string trellises. These things have been working great. I highly recommend these over the bamboo stakes. It's just easy. You just wrap them around your tomatoes as the tomatoes get higher, and then you can also let extra string out if you need it. There's also a few old beetroot in here. That is definitely a goal of mine for next year, is to make sure I leave plants to go to seed, so then obviously it can self-seed rather than me having to plant new seeds every time. Up next we have my garden here, which is full of my brassicas, lettuces and celery. Now this year I tried covering things for the first time, and it has definitely made a huge difference in the growth. Let me show you the size of these lettuces under here. I've just taken that netting off. Look how delicious these lettuces look, so crispy. Now top tip for eating lettuces in summer is just make sure that you soak them in water before you eat them, and it'll just take away a lot of that bittery taste. So a few other things in this garden, like I mentioned earlier, was our celeries. So celery love water when they're first growing, so all this rain is definitely benefiting them. We've got some broccolis in here. This is a summer variety, which I highly recommend getting because all of your winter variety ones just shoot up and go to seed. A couple of lonesome carrots are in here. That is definitely a goal of 2024 for me, is to get better at growing carrots. For some weird reason, I just cannot grow carrots. I have tried everything. Sandier soil, lots of organic matter, the mix it with corn flour thing to spread out the seeds. So if you have any special tips for growing carrots, please leave them in the comments below. So the next garden's got a little mixture of everything in it. We've got a few capsicums in here, which are just starting to get their flowers. We've got a few broccoli, tomato, a cucumber which is growing nicely. We've got a zucchini. Now I decided to just plant one zucchini this year because last year we had so many zucchinis it filled the entire fridge up. We've also got a lot more lettuces, which I've also kept under the netting as well. So I might just add what we put in our gardens. So we do use a lot of our own chicken manure out of the chicken coop, which is definitely helping these gardens. I've noticed in the last year that we've started using it. I've also got a worm bin behind me. So this is what the worm wee looks like straight out of the worm bin. And then this is like the castings that we get. So normally that fills right up with all this like broken down stuff from the worms. And then we chuck that straight in the garden. It's so rich in nutrients. We're always using worm wee. That's probably the main thing that I use. I just dilute it with a bit of water and spray it over everything. And yeah, something else we also use is the compost. So I've got a few bins around here They have all different stages of like the composting. So this one's obviously got all the fresh stuff in it. This one over here, if we open it, it's got more broken down stuff, and then eventually I'll tip that on top of the gardens as well. Up next is this big garden in the middle, which we mainly use for our watermelon bed. A few varieties we've got this year is our Charleston Grey, Golden Gold, Moon and Stars, Crimson Sweet, and Sugar Baby. So these are just starting to take off now. A lot slower than the last few years. Normally they would be a lot bigger than that. I'm not too worried. We still have 3 months of hot weather, so we should get some watermelons and rock melons. Now, if you haven't seen an old video of mine, our watermelon harvest, it was incredible. We had so many watermelons and rock melons, it was insane. So I'll leave the link to that video below if you want to go and check that out. So the other end of this garden is the big strawberry bed. We have been having a lot of strawberries, but that is definitely also on my 2024 goals. Trying to move all of these strawberries and create something that just doesn't rot the strawberries, something easier to weed. I just got to figure that one out. So if you've got any cool strawberry creations, let me know. Up next, we can't forget to plant a few pollinators for the bees, which absolutely love these sunflowers. Up next, we've got a few herbs. Our chives are humongous. Our parsley's all gone to seed. And here is our asparagus. So I grew all this from seed. So you guys would have seen that in a few of my garden tour videos. So that's growing really well. I've also got some mint over here. And if you've grown mint before, you know this stuff spreads like crazy. So just be careful when you plant that. In this garden here, we've got some spring onion, some more chives, lots of strawberries, a random tomato plant. These just pop up everywhere. Now this garden over here is just silver beet. Well, it was silver beet, and I'm just letting it all go to seed. Basically, we were just growing silver beet for the chickens, so that's another goal of mine, to try and grow extra to feed to the chickens so then we can save money on grain. This garden here is Logan's garden, and he's definitely learning the hard work about weeding. He's got a few peas in here. He's got a little sunflower. He pretty much just took my seeds out of the shed and just planted a bit of everything. But yeah, he's definitely learning that he needs to keep his garden weeded. Over here we've got a rhubarb plant, and this is only one plant, and let me show you how dense it is. Can you see in there? So much rhubarb, I don't even know what to do with it. We've also got these 2 beds full of potatoes. The wind absolutely just went through this potato bed, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that these still produce a good crop. But in here we've got cliff kidney and agria. And then this one over here, I think we've got red rascal or something like that. And then there's a few more from last year in this garden over here. And then this garden has just got a bit of random things in it. It's got some strawberries, a few blueberries, some tomatoes, some more celeries, and another cucumber plant. So that pretty much wraps up the veggie garden part of the tour. There's definitely a few goals that I have in place for 2024. Also, another big goal is to get the fencing around here fixed. We've got the windbreak at the moment, and I really want to get on to putting that mesh up just to protect the garden from the dogs and the rabbits. Another big thing is mulch on the ground. So at the moment we just got weed mat, but I have actually ordered some wood chip, so that should be here very, very soon. It just makes it look a lot better, and then it just keeps the weeds at bay in the rows. Alright, let's move on to my favourite place of the whole property, and that is our home orchard. So first up next to me here we have our huge 10-metre passion fruit vine. This vine is absolutely covered in passion fruit, so we should get a lot of passion fruit this summer for the smoothies. So next to that big vine is a guava tree. We've also got this here. Now I purchased it as a cranberry bush, but I've been told it might be a red currant. So that's what the little fruits look like. So let me know what you think that one is. So next to that passion fruit vine, we've got my raspberry patch. And look at all the raspberries. So we have been battling the caterpillars a little bit this year. So that's definitely a goal of mine for 2024, is to make sure I get onto that earlier before the larvae hatches. But these raspberries are still delicious. Up next is the passion fruit and grapevine tunnel, which was just made out of some mesh bought from Mitre 10. but look how covered it is in all of the grapes and passion fruit. We've kind of just let it do its own thing. And this year a goal of mine is to keep the grapes covered, so I've bought lots of little covers and mesh just to protect them from the birds, because last year the birds just came along and just wiped the whole lot out. Before I take you for a walk through my fruit trees, I just want to show you my berry tunnel behind me. This structure is looking better and better every year the more that all of these berries grow, and it was real easy to make, just a few old posts and some rebar. But a goal of mine for next year is to spray these. So I tried to stay away from sprays, but it's just inevitable. The berries are just all drying up like that. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to start spraying these berries if we want to enjoy any of them, unfortunately. Alright, so let me show you some fruit trees. So behind me I've got my Winternalis pear, which has some little mini brown pears on it this year. The most latent one here is the Billington plum tree, which is just covered. So pretty much this entire area would be stone fruit trees. We've got all different types of plums. We've got a couple of nectarines, we've got a couple of apricots over the back there, we've got Black Boy peach, Golden Queen peach, and they're all doing really well and they're all fruiting up at the moment. Now every year we do always get the one that gets the old rain rot. Fingers crossed all of the stone fruit do a lot better this year. Last year was an absolute disaster. Everything got rain rot and was just, yeah, it was just an absolute disaster. I don't think we got any peaches, any nectarines, or barely any plums last year. So far though, everything is looking pretty good. So here we've got my favorite kind of nashi tree. It is a red robin nashi, which is full of fruit at the moment. We've got a apple over there and a few more apples up the top there. Over here we've got a couple of persimmons, which are one of my favorite fruits, and those guys are looking super healthy. I planted a row of VEGE along here, which has just shot up. They are so tall. It's going to create a real good hedge, a good windbreak for the rest of the orchard. We've got our citrus area over here, a couple of limes, a lemon, a couple of orange trees. These guys probably need a bit more attention, so that can be one of my goals for 2024. Maybe put a few surrounds around the little ones because the rabbits just absolutely destroy them. Check this one out over here. I noticed that the other day. The rabbits just come along and just eat everything. We've also got a few mandarins. This is the Satsuma one, which is the easy peel, which you've always got to have if you've got kids. So next to me here is some blueberries. So we've got 8 blueberry trees here. So soon actually I'll have to get some netting and cover those so the birds don't eat them all. And carrying on from those VEGEs, we've also got another grapevine, a few blueberries down here. And sadly the sweet grandilla and the gold passion fruit died, so I've got to plant something new along those structures. Now I always get so many compliments that my stone fruit trees especially are looking so luscious and free of most of the leaf curl. So just the one tip that I have is to use apple cider vinegar as your fungus spray and then your neem oil as your pesticide, and you'll be right. So all I pretty much do is alternate those two, spray them every week, once a week. And yeah, we've pretty much got disease-free trees that look amazing. So anyways, I might wrap up this video there. I hope you guys loved coming along and having a look at our orchard and veggie garden. And I really hope it's inspired you to get out there and plant something in your backyard, because it is absolutely amazing. I love every summer when I can come out here and eat all the fresh fruit, especially knowing that I grew everything myself. I'm so proud of myself for what I've created. All the hard work that I've put in has definitely paid off. Although to be fair, it doesn't really feel like work to me because I actually really enjoy just being out here. Pruning and spraying and mowing and everything like that is just a part of it. It's just the lifestyle really that I really enjoy. In the absolute crazy world that we live in, I think trying to be more self-sufficient is the best way to be, by not having to rely on your supermarket for all your fresh produce. It is so easy to just get out there and plant something. You just got to try and do it. You actually will surprise yourself. I mean, I was standing in this paddock about 4 years ago and I never thought it would look like this. Like, it's actually insane how much it's grown. I don't think I realize like how cool it is unless people come over and they're like, oh my god, you have like this food paradise, and it doesn't really hit me, I guess. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already to keep updated with how the veggie garden and orchard are going. Also the rest of our property. There's always things to do around here. I'm making lots and lots of videos for you guys which are coming up very soon, including our kitchen reveal. So our kitchen is actually done now. So if you are new here, we are actually renovating our entire house and our entire property. So definitely make sure you go see those videos if you haven't already. But our kitchen has officially been finished. So that video should be up about maybe a week after this one, so definitely stay tuned for that one. See you later guys, bye. This vine is absolutely covered in passion fruit, so we should get a lot of passion fruit this summer for the smoothies. So next to that big vine is a guava tree. We've also got this here. Now I purchased it as a cranberry bush, but I've been told it might be a red currant. So that's what the little fruits look like. So let me know what you think that one is.